lesson 7. Welcome to lesson 7. Welcome lesson 7. Yeah, welcome lesson 7. Alright, so what was I doing just there? Well, I wanted to show you that because that's partly why we learn music. And what I was doing just now was I was riffing and jamming off of a piece that I'd already learnt using reading music. So I'd learned to read that piece, The Piano, by Michael Nyman. I think that's how you pronounce his name, Michael Nyman. And it's a movie, you might have heard that piece. Anyway, so I learnt that song and I took from it what I like and then I riff on it. So I learnt that nice left hand. And then I can improvise over the top of that. So this is why I think learning to read music is so good for me personally, because I can then go and learn another piece and it teaches me something that I like. I don't like the whole song. I don't want to play the whole song as it's written. Like, I just want to take the bit that I like and then reinvent it and jam with it in a way that I love. So that's why I recommend going over those previous lessons and learning how to read music properly. Now we're going to step a little bit away from that and go back into some chord theory, which is a bit more modern and can be used a bit more in songwriting, less classical, more modernity, yeah? And like, that's where we are, living in the 25th century now. There's a lot of technology around, so we might as well learn a couple of chords, eh? I'll tell you what, mate. Now, I'm going to swing that little dingo around here and I'm going to check this out. Okay, so what we're going over today is a little bit of that chord theory that we learned in lesson 3. So how to create harmonic triads, triad chords. So just quickly, let's go over that rule that we learned, starting with your thumb on middle C in your right hand, to make a major triad. And that was to start on any note. So let's say you're trying to work out, what's an A major triad? Let's first put our thumb on A. Then we're going to count up 4 semitones. 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll be our second note. Play the second note, and from there you count up 3 semitones. 1, 2, 3. A major triad. Now, as a general rule, once you have your major triad, you can take the second note, drop it 1 semitone, to make your minor triad. Remembering the difference between a major and a minor is just the feeling. Major can be defined as more happy and minor as more sad. Now, if you just want to find a minor straight away, the pattern is find the first note. So let's say E. We want to find E minor. And it's 3, 4. That's what I want you to remember. For a major, remember 4, 3. For a minor, remember 3, 4. Fine. Okay, we're trying to find E minor. So I'm on E. I count up 3 semitones. 1, 2, 3. That's my second note. From there, I count up 4 semitones. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Okay, so we've just recapped what we learned in the third lesson, which is how to make major and minor chords. Now, why do we want to learn chords? Because they sound awesome. Now, I'm going to teach you a way to get your hand strong in this chord shape is to do a chord exercise. We can just call it the chord march. And what we're going to do, we're going to do it 2 hands. Eventually, it's going to look like this. Together. We can just start at hands separately, but start in our right hand. So we're making that shape with the 1, the 3 and the 5 starting on middle C. And we're going to hold that shape firm, having our little bubble underneath the hand. Our fingers are curved. And then we step it up. Step up, step up, step up, step up, all the way for an octave until you get to C. And then we're going to step back down. Join in with me. I'll count for 4 and then we'll start. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stepping down. Now I want us to do the same thing with our left hand, please, starting one octave lower with our pinky on C. Just fall in time with me. At the top, coming down. Now maybe pause the video and do that a couple of times. And then once you've done that, we're going to play that two hands together really slowly. And back down. So we just use this exercise to get our fingers and hands really strong in that shape because you use it so much. Okay, now that we've done that exercise, so why I teach you exercises and scales, I recommend in your practice to do exercises and scales for like 5 minutes and then start. So you just run some scales, run a couple of exercises, that one we call the triad march, and that gets your hands strong and you're ready to rumble. If you want to run fast, you got to practice your sprints. If you want to lift heavier weights, you got to lift weights. You want to run fast on the piano? You got to practice running on the piano. Okay, so now we've done our little triad march exercise, we are going to learn a classic chord change which is used in a lot of pop music. So here it is, I'll show you. It's C major triad, down to a G major triad, up to an A minor triad, down to an F. So we're just going to do it in our right hand first, two, and we'll hold them all for semi-breves. Oh, sorry, hang on, we go from a C, G, A, F. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. A minor to F major. Let's just go 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And a 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary sings to me, singing words of wisdom, let it be, let it be. No woman, no cry. Carry my, no he can't read my poker face, etc., etc. There's heaps of pop songs that use this structure. And actually there's a good video an Australian comedy band group made. I think they called the Axis of Awesome, and they just run through like 1 million songs that do use this chord structure. So look up Axis of Awesome 4-chord change on YouTube, and you'll see they just run through 1 million different songs that do use this chord structure. So this is why we learn chords, because there are certain patterns that are really satisfying to listen to and you can use in your own songwriting. Let's just practice this one now, slowly, two hands together. So it's C, and I just want you to focus on the bottom fingers because it's a C major, it's a G major, it's an A minor, it's an F major. It's the bottom note which is the most important in the series. Yeah? So let's try it two hands together now. I'll count us in for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Up, 2, 3, 4. Down to F. 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to speed it up again to do that Beatles version. Do the Beatles song. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary sings to me, singing words of wisdom, let it be. So, C to G to A to F. So what I want you to do is just practice that in both hands. I want you to look up that Axis of Awesome song and go through and find one of the ones that resonates with you. If it's the Bob Marley, No Woman, No Cry. If it's the Beatles, Mother Mary. If it's that Poker Face song by Lady Dingo. Look it up, find one you like, and then we can just play two chords together. Another little technique is playing a bass note in the left and your full chord in the right. So I'm just adding a little bit of syncopation in the left, which is like a bass line. Now I'm just rolling the chords and adding a little bit of melody in between. So this is how we start with something simple, like just the straight chords, and then we build it up to adding a bit of syncopation in the left as a bass line, a little bit of rolling and melodic additions in the right hand, and we can make something sound really interesting. So, but first I just want you to start with that straight chord change from C to G to A to F, and to look up that video and pick one of the songs you like and to add some singing in with it. That's how we use chord changes to build songs. They're the base building blocks for so many pop songs. Find which ones resonate with you. Good work.